Welcome everyone, it's Egwin here. Welcome to Beyond Systems. Today I share another movement nugget with you that uses the wall. It's one of those simple mobility exercises that you can do on a regular day basis and without any additional equipment, because like something like a wall or a tree or maybe even a high table should pretty much be available to each and every one of you. Now this goes along in this series where I share one movement nugget every single day for this whole month. Has something to do with mobility, coordination, flexibility, strength, and just how to overall keep up a healthy state in the body and also create a healthy relationship with our body, our emotions, and our mind. If you want to stay up to date, please click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. And now let's jump right into the exercise. Exercise is quite simple. We're going to stand away from the wall a little bit. When I say a little bit, the ideal distance is pretty much one leg length when you flex the leg in your hip. What we want to do is, it really depends on your individual flexibility. Let me show the exercise first for people who are roughly in the intermediate range for flexibility, intermediate to advanced range. And then I'm going to show some beginner's variations. So basically what we're going to do is bring one leg up on the wall relatively high. I want the knee to be close to my chest already. And now I simply sink towards the wall with my upper body, literally completely on the side of this leg, and I allow for the rear leg to be straight. I'm gonna switch to the other side so you see more from the upper leg in a second, but I want the lower leg to be straight rather than bent. Keep this one straight. Sink all the way forward so you get a nice opening in the right hip joint, and you have full flexion in the left hip joint, or if we describe it differently, an opening in the back of the left hip joint. Upper body also stays long. See, I don't round my upper body ideally. I just simply sink forward, bring my arms towards the wall, and I really enjoy this opening on the back of the left thigh here. It's almost like hamstrings a little bit, but it's not really a hamstring stretch yet. It's just a nice opening when we have this deep hip mobility available to us. And we're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. Make sure to have a good grounding through your rear leg. Especially allow the glutes of the front leg to relax, to sink even deeper into the pose. Then once we are done, slowly move away from the wall with the upper body. Straighten out the front leg, and then simply switch it down and wiggle your hip a little bit, shake out the leg. And then we do the whole thing on the other side. So now you see better what's actually happening with my upper body with regard to the bent leg. So I bring up my bent leg high on the wall. When I say high on the wall, I'd say literally higher than my hip joint. And then from here, sinking forward. You can really almost embrace your leg from the outside, or try to get your shoulder underneath your knee if that is of help for you. Again, the rear leg stays straight, and I see to it that I can relax the back of my leg here, my glutes, and I can sink the upper body even deeper forward. Just keep breathing in and out through the nose, or in through the nose and out through the mouth if you want it even more relaxing. Then again, bring the upper body back up straighten out the front leg on the wall and slowly slide it down. Wiggle it out a little bit, and that's pretty much the exercise. You can combine it with more of hamstring work. When the leg is on the wall, you straighten it out. Maybe you move away a little bit with your lower leg in order for a more optimized distance. And then from here, just stand here straight. Just try not to go into a rounded back, but keep your back straight. Play with your toes, pulling your toes towards your body a little bit. Maybe see to it if you want to round forward, ease forward into the leg. Come back up, sink it back down, check it out a little bit. Then do it on the other side. Again, obviously, once we've done this, then wiggle the lower leg into perfect position. Sometimes that's a little bit closer, sometimes a little bit further away, really depending on the surface that you are standing on as well. If the surface is a little bit uneven, maybe you would want to stand a little bit further back in order to have a little bit more press towards the wall so that you don't have, that's the important part here, you do not want to have to hold your leg up in this position with your hip flexor. You really just want to stand tall, upper body upright, and then see if you can ease into the leg a little bit more forward, just enjoying this. Make sure that the knee is not hyperextended, and then again, slip the leg down and shake it out a little bit. It's a really nice exercise, especially for in between, literally in between work, in between longer periods of sitting or maybe driving a car or things like that. You can also do that on the side of a car. It really is nice to go into this full flexion in the hip joint and then also a more extended leg position, because this just opens up this whole area real nice, gets the blood pumping again, and reduces tension in muscles that might have gotten stiff over time with longer periods of sitting or tensing up and so on. Now, if this is still too far away for you, so if you cannot sink your upper body in this deep with the leg being that high, then simply place the leg on something that's lower, say maybe the edge of a table or maybe a window bench or something like that. And also make sure that if you place it any lower, that contrary to what I have to do here right now, because I don't have any board mounted, make sure that your heel actually rests, or your midfoot actually rests on the edge of that table or cupboard or whatever it might be, so that you don't have to hold the leg up, that you don't have to worry about the foot slipping on the wall or anything like that. And again, it's the same principle here. You can try to sink all the way through, or for total beginner version, what I suggest is actually the following. So you keep the leg bent, especially when it's lower down and you are, say, on the edge of a table with the midfoot, then ankle mobility is not an issue. If you place the foot on the wall, like here, really sinking deeper in with the foot this low creates problems in terms of ankle mobility, because it's very, very intense angle here already. So anyway, but you don't have this issue if you place it on a window bench or on the edge of a table. For beginners, I suggest bring the upper body down onto the front leg. In this case, you can even keep your rear leg slightly bent at the beginning and really try to place all the weight of the upper body onto your front leg. If this feels comfortable, then try to maybe hold on to the edge of the table or the window bench and slowly try to lower your upper body down a little more, and only then try to extend the lower leg Not hyperextend, just extend and see if this pose works for you. Then again, stand back up. And rather than now trying to straighten the leg out with walking back, I suggest keep your upper body on the front thigh and slowly try to extend the leg with the upper body already melting into your front thigh like this, so that you really rest on the thigh while you start extending the front leg more and more and more. And when you do it like this, then it teaches your hamstrings to release in a totally different way. Your hip is already locked out, so the long portion of your hamstrings, they are already in end position, so you're working more with the parts of the hamstrings that are closer towards the knee, and that is a big issue for many people. And it also, in this case, protects your spine, since the upper body rests on the front thigh. And then obviously you do the whole thing again just on the other side. Upper body sinks onto the front leg, rear leg can be bent here, maybe bring the arm down on the side. This is something really important here as well, especially the lower the legs are, make sure that you have enough width between the standing leg and the leg that's on the wall. So you don't want them to be in one line, because otherwise you have to sort of bend towards the side in order to get down next to your knee. What you really want is you want one leg or one foot to be here, the other foot to be on a different track, if you want, so that the knee can move freely on the side of the body. So ideally this is the position viewed from the front, if here was the wall for my leg, where I sink my upper body towards the wall all the way through, and then just relax, shake it out a little bit. This shaking out just simply serves an equalizing of pressure and tension in the structures again, which is important whenever we have done some work with extreme ranges of motion, and extreme meaning always in an individual sense. So if doesn't matter if you're a beginner or an intermediate or advanced in terms of your hip flexion, your hip mobility, whenever you near your specific end range of motion, afterwards you want to make sure to allow the joint to ease back into sort of a common agreement of tension and pressure patterns somewhere in the middle. And once you've done that, once you've shaken out the legs a little bit and wiggled maybe the hip a little bit, then the legs should actually feel quite alive. Your lumbar spine maybe feels a little bit more alive. Your whole pelvic ring maybe feels a little bit more alive. And there is definitely more grounding, more contact, and also more sensomotoric feedback from the ground into your body, which automatically draws a little bit more attention and also calms, again, the mind and the breathing as well. All right. Have a beautiful time. Enjoy this exercise. It's really simple and it is a beauty. If you have any questions regarding positioning or placement or things like that, then let me know in the comments and I'll make sure to answer it as quickly as possible to help you get into this pose safely and effectively and get the most out of it. All right. Enjoy your day. Have fun trying it out. Thanks for watching and see you in tomorrow's nugget. Have a beautiful time. Bye, guys.